Today's case is unlike any other. Instead of focusing on just one criminal, we're going through 10. 10 of the most dangerous fugitives in the United States. These individuals are wanted by the FBI for some of the most heinous crimes, including murder, human drugs, and financial fraud. Some have been on the run for years, slipping through law enforcement's grasp, while others have recently been added to the list due to new developments in their cases. The FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives list has been in place since 1950, and over the years, hundreds of criminals have been captured with the help of tips from the public. In this video, we'll go through each fugitive's story, how they got on this list, what crimes they've committed, and where they might be hiding. If you recognize any of these individuals or have any knowledge of their whereabouts, do not hesitate to contact the authorities. There are large rewards for information that leads to their capture, and your tip could be the key to bringing justice. Welcome to True Crime Investigator, where we bring you compelling stories of crime, mystery, and justice. Sit back, stay curious, and let's get into today's case. Now let's dive into the dark world of America's most wanted criminals. 1. Alejandro Castillo. The deceptive murderer, Alejandro Castillo, was born in the United States and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Not much is known about his early childhood, but he was described as an average student with no significant criminal history before the events that led to his fugitive status. Castillo worked at a restaurant in Charlotte, where he met Truxquan Sandy Lili, a fellow employee. The two developed a friendship, which eventually turned into a brief romantic relationship before ending on bad terms. On August 9, 2016, Castillo arranged to meet his former girlfriend, Truxquan Sandy Lili, under the pretense of repaying money he owed her. Instead of returning the funds, he and his new girlfriend, Amia Feaster, drove Sandy to a secluded wooded area in Cabarrus County, North Carolina. There, Castillo shot her ex-style in the head and abandoned her in a heavily wooded region. The couple then fled the scene, taking Sandy's ATM card, which they later used to withdraw money from various locations. Her body was not discovered until several weeks later. Law enforcement discovered Sandy's body on August 25, 2016, after friends and family reported her missing. The investigation quickly led to Castillo and Feaster, as financial records showed Sandy's ATM card being used in Arizona and later in Mexico. Authorities determined that Castillo and Feaster had fled to Mexico after abandoning their car at a bus station in Phoenix. In an unexpected turn, Feaster eventually surrendered to authorities and was arrested, but Castillo managed to evade capture. His whereabouts remain unknown. Alejandro Castillo is believed to be hiding in Mexico, with possible sightings in the states of Puebla and Veracruz. It is speculated that he may have received help from criminal organizations, allowing him to stay hidden. Authorities believe he may be using an alias and changing locations frequently to avoid detection. Despite multiple reports of sightings, none have led to his arrest so far. The FBI has placed Alejandro Castillo on its top 10 most wanted fugitives list, offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to his capture. Law enforcement agencies have worked closely with Mexican authorities in hopes of tracking him down. Various leads have been pursued, but so far he has remained elusive. The FBI urges anyone with information to contact them immediately, as they believe he is still at large and dangerous. To Ruja Ignatova, the disappearing crypto queen Ruja Ignatova, a Bulgarian-born entrepreneur, is one of the most wanted fugitives in the world. Once celebrated as the mastermind behind OneCoin, a cryptocurrency she claimed would rival Bitcoin, Ignatova is now on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list for orchestrating one of the biggest financial frauds in history. In 2014, Ruja Ignatova launched OneCoin, marketing it as the next revolutionary digital currency. She promised investors a chance to become wealthy by purchasing OneCoin tokens. However, OneCoin was never a legitimate cryptocurrency. It lacked a blockchain, making it impossible to mine, trade, or verify transactions. Instead, it was a cleverly disguised Ponzi scheme that relied on recruitment and false promises. Between 2014 and 2017, OneCoin defrauded investors of over $4 billion worldwide, affecting millions of people across different countries. Ignatova manipulated her audience using grand presentations and luxurious appearances to build trust. She referred to herself as the Crypto Queen, presenting herself as a financial visionary. Financial analysts, cryptocurrency experts, and law enforcement agencies began to investigate OneCoin after noticing inconsistencies in its operations. One major red flag was the inability of investors to withdraw their money. Critics questioned why OneCoin lacked a blockchain, and whistleblowers exposed the fraudulent nature of the company. In 2017, U.S. authorities, including the FBI and the Department of Justice, filed charges against Ignatova and her associates, accusing them of wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. On October 25, 2017, Ruja Ignatova vanished while traveling from Bulgaria to Greece. Authorities believe she may have been tipped off about the U.S. investigation and fled before she could be arrested. Her last confirmed sighting was at Athens International Airport, and from there, she seemingly disappeared without a trace. Some reports suggest she may have altered her appearance with plastic surgery, assumed a new identity, or even received protection from powerful connections, including criminals or corrupt officials. Others speculate she may have been killed by former associates who feared she would become a liability. In June 2022, the FBI officially placed Ruja Ignatova on its top 10 most wanted fugitives list, offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to her arrest. She is wanted for defrauding investors out of billions of dollars and using fraudulent financial schemes to launder money across multiple countries. Authorities believe she is traveling with a fake passport and may be in Russia, the UAE, or somewhere in Europe under a new identity. Despite various leads, her whereabouts remain unknown. To this day, Ruja Ignatova remains at large, making her one of the most elusive white-collar criminals in history. Her disappearance raises questions. Did she plan her escape years in advance? Is she living under a new identity, or has she been silenced forever? The hunt for the Crypto Queen continues, and the world still waits for justice. 3. Bhadresh Kumar Chetanbhai Patel, the donut shop killer. Patel is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of committing a gruesome murder in April 2015. Once an immigrant living a seemingly normal life in the United States, Patel is now a fugitive, having evaded capture for nearly a decade. On April 12, 2015, Bhadresh Kumar Patel and his wife, Palak Patel, were working a late-night shift at a Dunkin' Donuts store in Hanover, Maryland. The store was owned by a relative, and the couple had been married for less than 2 years after moving from India. During their shift, the couple went into the kitchen area, and that's when Patel brutally attacked Palak, striking her multiple times with an object similar to a kitchen knife or a metal rod. She died on the spot. The motive remains unclear, but investigators believe Palak wanted to return to India, while Patel wanted to stay in the U.S. This may have sparked an argument, leading to the horrific act of violence. After the murder, Patel was caught on surveillance cameras leaving the store. He walked back to his apartment in Laurel, Maryland, changed clothes, took some cash, and vanished. Authorities discovered that later that night, Patel took a cab to a hotel near Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. However, he never boarded a flight, and from that moment his trail goes cold. Since then, Patel has never used his bank accounts or credit cards, making it difficult to track him. The FBI believes he may have received help from family or contacts in the Indian community and could be hiding in India, Canada, or inside the U.S. under an assumed identity. The FBI placed Bhadresh Kumar Patel on the top 10 most wanted fugitives list in 2017 due to the brutality of the crime and his ability to evade law enforcement for years. The FBI considers him armed and dangerous and is offering a $100,000 reward for any information leading to his arrest. Patel is wanted for first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first-degree assault, second-degree assault, and dangerous weapon use with intent to injure. His last confirmed sighting was at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey on April 13, 2015. However, it remains a mystery whether he fled the country or is still hiding somewhere in the U.S. under a new identity. With no known digital footprint and an extensive FBI search that has yielded few leads, Patel remains a ghost. Some theories suggest he may be hiding in India, protected by relatives or criminal networks, while others speculate he could be living under a false identity in the United States. The FBI is still searching for him, and authorities believe it's only a matter of time before someone recognizes him and turns him in. This gripping case remains one of the most disturbing and mysterious on the FBI's most wanted list. The hunt for Bhadresh Kumar Chetanbhai Patel continues. Will justice ever be served? 4. Wilver Villegas Palomino. The narco-terrorist Wilver Villegas Palomino is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, known for his involvement in drug trafficking and organized crime. As a high-ranking member of the National Liberation Army, ELN, a Marxist guerrilla group in Colombia, Villegas Palomino has played a crucial role in smuggling massive amounts of cocaine into the United States. For years, he has evaded authorities, continuing to finance violence and instability in Colombia and Venezuela. The U.S. government is offering a reward of up to $5 million for information leading to his capture. Villegas Palomino is a leader within the ELN's Northeastern Front, which operates along the Colombia-Venezuela border. The ELN is a designated organization involved in drug trafficking, kidnappings for ransom, assassinations, and targeting law enforcement and civilians. The ELN controls cocaine production and distribution networks, making millions of dollars by exporting drugs from Colombia to Central America, Mexico, and the U.S. Villegas Palomino is accused of working closely with Mexican cartels to move cocaine through illegal channels, financing activities in the process. The U.S. Department of Justice indicted Villegas Palomino on drug-related charges in 2020, accusing him of conspiring to distribute cocaine for U.S. importation, providing material support to a terrorist organization, and financing violent guerrilla operations through narco-trafficking. Authorities state that Villegas Palomino directly profits from the drug trade, fueling the ELN's ability to wage war against the Colombian government and expand its power. In February 2024, the FBI officially placed Wilver Villegas Palomino on its top 10 most wanted list due to his threat to U.S. national security and involvement in transnational crime. He is wanted for drug trafficking on an international scale, terrorist financing and operations, evading U.S. and Colombian law enforcement for decades. The FBI and DEA believe Villegas Palomino is currently hiding in Venezuela, where the ELN has a strong presence and protection. He is thought to be operating under the protection of corrupt officials and criminal networks, making his arrest difficult. Authorities suspect he is moving between Venezuela and Colombia, continuing his operations in secret. The U.S. government remains committed to capturing him, offering up to $5 million for information leading to his arrest. However, due to political tensions between the U.S., Venezuela, and Colombia, bringing him to justice remains a challenge. The FBI, DEA, and Colombian authorities are working together to locate and apprehend him before he can continue financing terrorism. The manhunt for Wilver Villegas Palomino continues. Will he ever be caught? 5. Omar Alexander Cardenas. The gangland killer Omar Alexander Cardenas is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of carrying out a deadly gang-related shooting in Los Angeles. Cardenas, a known gang member, is wanted for murder and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution after allegedly gunning down a man outside a shopping plaza in 2019. Despite a federal manhunt, he has remained at large for years, possibly hiding under a new identity or receiving protection from criminal networks. The FBI is offering a $250,000 reward for information leading to his arrest, making him one of the most sought-after fugitives in the United States. On August 15, 2019, Cardenas was outside the Hair Icon barbershop in Silmar, California, an area known for gang activity. Surveillance footage captured him raising a semi-automatic handgun and opening fire. The victim, an innocent man with no known gang affiliations, was shot multiple times and died at the scene. Witnesses recalled the sudden burst of gunfire before the shooter fled the area. The attack appeared to be an intentional execution, reinforcing suspicions that Cardenas was acting on behalf of his gang. Authorities quickly identified Cardenas as the prime suspect. He was known to law enforcement for his involvement in violent gang activities, including drug trafficking and weapons-related crimes. He had ties to a dangerous street gang operating in San Fernando Valley, known for carrying out violent attacks to control territory. Despite the quick identification, Cardenas managed to disappear before he could be arrested. Investigators believe he may have had help escaping from fellow gang members or family connections, allowing him to evade law enforcement for years. In July 2020, authorities officially charged Omar Alexander Cardenas with murder and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. The FBI placed him on its 10 most wanted fugitives list in 2022, considering him a high-risk, armed, and dangerous individual. His capture is a top priority due to his violent history and the potential threat he poses to the public. Cardenas was last seen in Southern California, but authorities suspect he may have fled to Mexico or is hiding in other U.S. states under an assumed identity. Given his gang connections, he could be receiving assistance to remain off the grid. However, his capture remains a major goal for federal authorities, who are monitoring leads and working with international law enforcement agencies. The search for Omar Alexander Cardenas continues. Will he remain in the shadows, or will justice finally catch up to him? 6. Fausto Isidro Meza Flores, also known as El Chapo Isidro, is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of being a violent cartel leader and a key player in international drug trafficking operations. Once a rising figure in the Beltran-Leyva cartel, he later took control of his own independent drug organization, challenging powerful cartels like the Sinaloa cartel. Wanted for conspiracy to distribute narcotics, international drug trafficking, and organized crime, Meza Flores has been on the run for years. The U.S. government has placed a multi-million-dollar bounty on his capture, making him one of the most dangerous and sought-after cartel leaders in the world. For over a decade, Meza Flores has played a major role in the violent world of Mexican drug cartels, controlling smuggling routes between Mexico and the United States. His organization is known for moving tons of methamphetamine, heroin, cocaine, and marijuana into the U.S., generating millions of dollars in illicit profits. Authorities believe he operates a violent drug empire using hitmen, corrupt officials, and high-powered weapons to maintain control over drug routes and eliminate rivals. Unlike many cartel leaders who stay in the shadows, Meza Flores built a reputation as a ruthless enforcer, willing to go to war with rival groups, including El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel. His violent clashes with the Sinaloa cartel in the early 2010s resulted in numerous deaths, as his forces fought for control of drug corridors in Sinaloa, Sonora, and Baja California. Despite the arrests and deaths of many Beltran-Leyva leaders, Meza Flores survived the cartel wars, emerging as an independent boss who continued trafficking drugs at a high level. In 2012, U.S. law enforcement indicted Meza Flores on drug trafficking charges, linking him to massive shipments of cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana that crossed into the U.S. via Arizona and California. His cartel expanded its operations, working closely with Colombian suppliers and money laundering networks to increase their power. The indictment exposed a complex operation that utilized corrupt police, hidden airstrips, and cartel-backed assassins to protect his business. Despite being one of the most wanted criminals in the Western Hemisphere, Meza Flores has managed to avoid capture, relying on his deep connections within the Mexican underworld. Authorities believe he frequently moves between Sinaloa, Nayarit, and Sonora, staying one step ahead of law enforcement. His cartel is rumored to pay off local police and military officials, making his arrest even more difficult. In 2020, the FBI added Meza Flores to its 10 most wanted fugitives list, recognizing him as a major figure in the ongoing cartel wars. He is wanted for conspiracy to distribute controlled substances, international drug smuggling, and violent cartel activity. The U.S. government is now offering a multi-million-dollar reward for any information that leads to his capture, as part of a broader effort to dismantle the remaining factions of the Beltran-Leyva cartel. Even with cartel leaders like El Chapo and the Beltran-Leyva brothers captured or dead, Meza Flores remains one of the last major players still at large, proving how difficult it is to dismantle the deeply rooted drug trade in Mexico. Law enforcement agencies believe his capture could cripple one of the last remnants of the Beltran-Leyva organization, but bringing him to justice will require breaking through the layers of protection surrounding him. The hunt for Fausto Isidro Meza Flores continues. Where is he hiding? Will authorities be able to take down one of Mexico's most elusive cartel bosses, or will he continue to evade capture, keeping his drug empire alive? The world is watching and justice demands answers. 7. Francisco Javier Roma Bardales. Francisco Javier Roma Bardales is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of leading a major drug trafficking operation between Honduras and the United States. Wanted for drug conspiracy and international narcotics distribution, Roma Bardales has managed to evade law enforcement for years, using criminal networks and corrupt officials to stay off the radar. The U.S. government has placed a $1 million reward on his capture, making him one of the most high-profile fugitives in the ongoing war on drugs. As a Honduran drug trafficker, Roma Bardales has been linked to large-scale cocaine shipments being smuggled into the United States, working closely with powerful cartels and organized crime groups. His operations involve moving massive amounts of narcotics through Central America, using connections in Mexico and the Caribbean to facilitate the trade. Authorities believe he has helped funnel millions of dollars worth of cocaine into major U.S. cities, fueling the opioid and cocaine crisis that has devastated communities across the country. Roma Bardalos has also been linked to violent enforcement tactics, using hitmen and cartel-backed enforcers to protect his shipments and eliminate rivals. Investigators suspect that his drug empire is protected by bribed officials, allowing him to move freely and evade capture in Honduras and other parts of Latin America. His ability to operate within corrupt systems has made bringing him to justice extremely difficult. In 2021, U.S. authorities indicted Roma Bardalos on drug trafficking charges, connecting him to multi-ton shipments of cocaine destined for the U.S. market. The investigation revealed a sophisticated smuggling network that relied on boats, private aircraft, and hidden transport routes, ensuring that drug shipments reached their final destinations undetected. As law enforcement closed in, Roma Bardalos disappeared, avoiding arrest and leaving authorities scrambling to track him down. In 2023, the FBI placed him on its 10 most wanted fugitives list, recognizing him as one of the biggest threats in international narcotics trafficking. His capture remains a top priority for both U.S. and Honduran authorities, but the challenge lies in locating him within the heavily protected criminal underworld. He is believed to be hiding in Honduras, possibly moving between safe houses and remote areas controlled by drug traffickers. Some reports suggest he frequently changes his appearance and travels under false identities, making it even harder to track him. Despite his efforts to stay hidden, law enforcement continues to pursue leads, working with international agencies to dismantle his operations. With a $1 million reward on his head, the FBI hopes that someone from his network will come forward with information leading to his arrest. The hunt for Francisco Javier Roma Bardalos is far from over, and as pressure mounts, the walls may finally be closing in on him. Where is Roma Bardalos hiding? Will authorities finally bring him to justice, or will he remain a ghost within the criminal underworld, continuing to fuel the global drug trade? The world is watching, and the fight against international drug trafficking demands answers. 8. Alexis Flores, the child predator Alexis. Flores is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of committing one of the most horrific crimes imaginable: the kidnapping, say-whom assault, and brutal murder of a 5-year-old girl in Philadelphia. A violent predator and fugitive, Flores has evaded law enforcement for nearly 2 decades, possibly hiding under a false identity. The FBI is offering a $250,000 reward for any information leading to his capture. The crime that put Flores on the FBI's most wanted list occurred in the summer of 2000 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 5-year-old Iriana De Jesus was a bright, happy child who disappeared from her neighborhood on July 29, 2000. Her family, devastated and desperate for answers, reported her missing, and a massive search effort began. Days later, on August 3, 2000, the search came to a heartbreaking end. Iriana's lifeless body was discovered wrapped in a trash bag inside the basement of an abandoned building, just a few blocks from her home. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled, a crime so disturbing that it shook the entire community. Investigators immediately launched a full-scale manhunt for the person responsible, but for years the case remained unsolved. At the time of the murder, police had no solid leads on a suspect, until DNA evidence changed everything. Years later, a forensic breakthrough linked the crime to Alexis Flores, a Honduran national with a history of using false identities. His DNA matched biological evidence found at the crime scene, confirming that he was the man who had kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered Iriana De Jesus. But by the time authorities identified him, Flores had already disappeared. Before being identified as Iriana's killer, Flores had been arrested multiple times under different aliases in the United States. In 2002, he was arrested in Arizona for shoplifting, and later served time for forgery and identity theft. During this period, he used the fake name Mario Flores, successfully deceiving authorities. After serving his sentence, he was deported to Honduras in 2005, a move that would unknowingly allow a child murderer to walk free. By the time DNA evidence connected him to Iriana's murder, it was too late. Flores was already back in Honduras, and his whereabouts became a mystery. Authorities now believe he may have re-entered the U.S. illegally or is hiding in Central or South America, possibly using another fake identity. In 2007, the FBI officially charged him with unlawful flight to avoid prosecution, kidnapping, and murder. In 2009, he was added to the FBI's 10 most wanted fugitives list, marking him as one of the most dangerous criminals still on the run. Despite multiple leads and international efforts, Flores remains a ghost. His ability to change identities and live under the radar makes him difficult to track, and it's believed that he may be receiving help from individuals unaware of his horrific past. Some theories suggest he could be working under the table jobs, blending into communities where he is least expected to be found. Others fear that he may strike again, preying on vulnerable children wherever he is hiding. For the family of Ariana DeJesus, justice has been long overdue. She was an innocent child, robbed of her future, and the man responsible has spent decades evading the consequences of his monstrous actions. The FBI remains committed to capturing him, warning the public that he is extremely dangerous and should not be approached. The hunt for Alexis Flores continues. Where is he hiding? Is he living under a new identity? Or has he managed to slip away into a country where no one knows his crimes? One thing is certain, as long as he remains free, justice is unfinished. 9. Yulan Adonai Archaga Carias. The MS-13 kingpin Yulan Adonai Archaga Carias, also known as El Porky, is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives and the most powerful MS-13 leader in Honduras. As the head of Mara Salvatrucha, MS-13, in his home country, he is wanted for drug trafficking, racketeering, organized crime, and conspiracy to commit. The U.S. government has placed a $5 million bounty on his capture, making him one of the most dangerous and sought-after criminals in the world. MS-13 is one of the most violent transnational criminal organizations, responsible for thousands of murders, extortion, and human trafficking operations across Central America, Mexico, and the United States. Under Archaga Carias's leadership, the gang has strengthened its drug smuggling operations, extortion rackets, and armed conflicts with law enforcement and rival groups. He is accused of funneling tons of cocaine into the U.S. while ordering assassinations to maintain MS-13's iron grip over Honduras. His criminal rise was marked by extreme brutality. As a high-ranking leader, Archaga Carias oversaw the expansion of MS-13's power in Honduras, aligning the gang with major Mexican drug cartels, including El Chapo's Sinaloa cartel. This alliance allowed MS-13 to import and distribute cocaine in U.S. cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C., making the gang not only a street-level threat, but also a major player in the international drug trade. In 2018, Honduran authorities arrested Archaga Carias on multiple criminal charges, including murder, drug trafficking, and illegal firearm possession. But his capture didn't last long. In February 2020, a heavily armed commando unit of MS-13 gunmen stormed the Honduran courthouse where he was being held, killing several officers and breaking him out of custody in one of the boldest prison breaks in the country's history. Since then, he has been on the run, hiding under MS-13's vast network of protection. In November 2021, the FBI placed Archaga Carias on the 10 most wanted fugitives list, recognizing him as one of the most dangerous gang leaders in the world. The charges against him in the U.S. include racketeering, narcotics distribution, and firearms violations, linking him directly to violent crimes on American soil. Authorities believe that he continues to run MS-13 from hiding, issuing orders for murders, kidnappings, and drug shipments while remaining untouchable. Despite an intense international manhunt, Archaga Carias remains at large. The FBI believes he is currently hiding in Honduras or moving between cartel-controlled territories in Central America, using his gang's influence to evade capture. He is suspected of using false identities, traveling with a private security force, and bribing government officials to remain in power. With a $5 million reward on his head, the hunt for Yulan Adonai Archaga Carias has never been more urgent. His continued leadership of MS-13 means that murders, drug trafficking, and violent attacks will continue unless he is stopped. However, capturing El Porky won't be easy. He has a network of loyal soldiers, cartel allies, and corrupt officials protecting him, making him one of the most elusive fugitives in the world. The FBI and Honduran authorities remain determined to bring him to justice, but the question remains: where is Yulan Adonai Archaga Carias? Will he be captured and brought down like other cartel bosses? Or will he continue to operate from the shadows, unleashing violence and terror across the Americas? Ten vital home, innocent vital home. Innocent is one of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives, accused of orchestrating violent, armed attacks and terrorizing civilians in Haiti. As the leader of the Crase Barrier gang, he has played a central role in the wave of kidnappings for ransom that has destabilized Haiti, targeting both American citizens and local residents. The U.S. government has placed a $2 million bounty on his capture, making him one of the most dangerous and sought-after fugitives in the world. Haiti has been in a state of crisis for years, with criminal gangs controlling large portions of the country, and Vitel Homme Innocent is one of the most notorious figures in this underworld. His gang, Crase Barrier, whose name means breaking barriers, is one of the most violent criminal organizations in Haiti, responsible for numerous abductions, murders, and attacks on law enforcement. Under his leadership, the gang has terrorized civilians, especially in Port-au-Prince and surrounding areas where armed groups have taken over entire neighborhoods. One of the most shocking crimes linked to Innocent was the October 2021 kidnapping of 16 American missionaries and 1 Canadian missionary in Haiti. The victims, who were part of Christian aid ministries, were abducted while traveling in Gantier, near Port-au-Prince. The kidnappers demanded a $1 million ransom per hostage, holding them for weeks under dire conditions. Some hostages managed to escape, while others were eventually released, but the incident sent shockwaves through the international community, highlighting the worsening security crisis in Haiti. Innocent is also linked to the kidnapping of an American citizen in 2022, further cementing his status as a dangerous international fugitive. His gang operates through a network of corrupt officials, armed enforcers, and criminal allies, allowing him to evade capture and continue his reign of terror. Authorities believe he is closely allied with another infamous gang, 400 Mawozo, which has also carried out large-scale kidnappings and attacks in Haiti. In October 2022, the U.S. Department of Justice officially charged Vitel Homme Innocent with conspiracy to commit hostage-taking, leading the FBI to place him on its 10 most wanted fugitives list in 2023. His extensive criminal activities make him one of the most dangerous individuals still at large, and law enforcement agencies are working alongside Haitian authorities to locate and capture him. Despite efforts to bring him to justice, Innocent remains at large, believed to be hiding somewhere in Haiti, using his gang's control over key areas to avoid detection. Given the country's unstable security situation, capturing him is particularly difficult. His ability to bribe law enforcement, intimidate communities, and relocate frequently makes him an extremely elusive target. However, with the $2 million reward now offered by the U.S. government, authorities hope that someone within his network will come forward with information leading to his arrest. The manhunt for Vitel Homme Innocent continues. Where is he hiding? Will law enforcement be able to take down one of Haiti's most feared gang leaders, or will he continue to hold the country hostage through terror and violence? The world is watching, and justice demands answers. The fugitives on this list have evaded capture for years, but justice is relentless. The FBI, along with local and international law enforcement agencies, continues to track them down, working tirelessly to bring them to justice. While some of these individuals have gone underground, changed identities, or fled to different countries, there is always someone who knows something. The question remains, where are they now? Are they living among us under assumed identities? Have they managed to slip through law enforcement's grasp for good? Or is their time running out? We've seen cases in the past where fugitives were captured after decades on the run. Will the same happen here? Do you think law enforcement will catch any of these fugitives soon? If so, which one do you think will be the first to be brought to justice? Let us know in the comments below. If you recognize any of these individuals or have any knowledge of their whereabouts, do not hesitate to contact the authorities. The FBI offers substantial rewards for information leading to their capture. Remember, some of these criminals are extremely dangerous, so do not attempt to apprehend them yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on crime cases like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay aware, stay informed, and stay safe.